everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Liz. Today we're going to be talking about the best breast pump in the entire world, the Spectra. So this comes in either the S1 or the S2. They operate the exact same way. The only difference is one is rechargeable and the other one needs a cord. Okay, so first I wanted to go over kind of why I am using the Spectra breast pump, and it's because my nipples were hurting so bad I thought they were going to fall off of my body after like a week of pumping. So I had to exclusively pump in the beginning, and if you are someone who is going through that, girl, I feel you and you are awesome. Fortunately, I eventually got to stop exclusively pumping, but still I pump 5 days out of the week when I'm gone from Avery. So if that's gonna be you and you're going back to work, you're going back to school, whatever you're doing, and you just aren't loving the free one you got through your insurance, I would recommend checking this out. You do have to buy it. This one was the cordless one, so this one's I think $170 on Amazon. The one with the cord is $120 right now. So it is an investment, and that does kind of stink, especially when you're like, oh, but I got a free one through my insurance. However, my free one through insurance kind of made it feel like every time I started, I would cry because it hurt so bad. And yes, my flanges were the right size before you ask. It was like horribly strong suction. I really honestly felt like, you know when you're starting a lawnmower and you're like, "Rrr," except it was my nipple. And it really made me sad. So sobbing on the couch one night, I was on a breastfeeding support page on Facebook, and people were like, get the Spectra. Like, it doesn't suck your nipples off into outer space. It's the best thing. And I was sitting there sobbing, and Joe was like, just get it. He was like at his wit's end. He was like, I don't know what to do. And guys, this thing is great, and it's great because it's adjustable. So you can adjust the suction, you can adjust how fast it goes to whatever works best for you. A lot of people get a lot more milk because they find they can make it adjust to whatever works best for them to kind of imitate their baby. And I don't know if it gave me more milk, but I stopped crying when I needed to pump. So that was a huge quality of life thing. If you're a stay-at-home mom or someone who's only going to be pumping like 1 day a week, I don't know if it would necessarily be worth the investment, because you did get one, because a lot of insurance companies do provide them for free now. But if you're going back to work or you're going to be pumping all the time, it's kind of like investing in a good pair of running shoes or something like that, where it's worth kind of, if you can spend the money. I used birthday money. I think people gave me like Amazon gift cards for my birthday, and I was like, I'm gonna give my boobs a present, the breast present. People told me not to use that. They were like, that's really embarrassing. Did it anyway. So I'm gonna show you real quick a couple tips on how to use it, because I thought it was a little bit confusing, and again, I would highly consider it. This thing has been a gem. So this is a Spectra pump. Welcome. It's the most wonderful friend you will have if you are pumping. Say, nice to meet you, Spectra pump. Let's learn about all your parts. So the main points when looking at this are, here's the on button. This is going to be the adjustment button that goes between letdown mode and the regular pumping mode. Cycle is how quickly is your pump going to go. So how many pumps per minute when you are in regular pumping mode. And the vacuum is what's the strength of the suction. And here's the light. So whenever you turn on the pump, it's automatically going to go to pumping mode, even though you need to be in letdown mode first. So that's one thing I don't like about the pump, and it's pretty much the only thing I don't like. So when you turn it on, you're immediately gonna have to hit this wavy button, which switches you between pump mode and letdown mode. And when you go into letdown mode, you can't use the cycles because it's automatically gonna go at 70 a minute, because it's mimicking that initial little suckle a baby would do when they first get up to breast. You can change the vacuum level, so the strength of the suction. So you can start it really low and go up to what you're comfortable with. Now that I've been pumping for a long time, I do level 5 right off the bat. But when I first started, I was definitely doing level 2 when I just started. And then once you have your milk let down, you can hit the wavy line again, and that will switch you over to regular pump mode, where you'll hang out for like 5 minutes or so until you stop producing milk and start. Then you can adjust the cycle, so the speed per minute and the vacuum level once again. And then when you stop producing milk, you'll just repeat the process. So here I'll show you what I mean. So you turn it on, and then immediately hit this wavy button, and that's gonna put you in letdown mode. And you know you're in letdown mode because it'll have these waves up here, and it's going at 70. and it's level 5. So this is what I have it set to. And in let down mode, it's not adjustable on the cycling. So you can't make it go any faster or slower, but you can make it a little bit less intense, which is totally what I recommend if you're just starting out. All right, so you're doing this, maybe it's been a minute or so, and now you're starting to feel your milk flow. You're seeing the drops in your containers. You hit the wavy line again, and you switch over to your actual pump mode. So this is when it's going to kind of draw the majority of the milk out. And this one is adjustable on both sides. So you can make it go more times a minute if you want, 54. You can go down to like, what's the lowest? 38. So I like mine at 50, and I'm at level 10. So there's 12 levels total. So keep that in mind. I used to start, when I first started pumping, seriously at like level 3, and then throughout my session, maybe after, you know, in the initial part where your nipples are just kind of sore, especially in the first couple months of pumping, and then you can bump it up. So like, oh, you've been doing this for 5 minutes, let's get up there. And then now, I mean, I just start on level 10 and it doesn't hurt at all. This is the light, and that just turns that on. It has multiple light levels. That works even when the pump is off. The light will work, so that's kind of handy. So if you're just starting out and you're kind of confused about which settings you're going to want to use, I would recommend starting out at, let's see, start at like 42 when you go to your actual pump mode, and start at like level 4. So a great thing about the Spectra, and why a lot of people love it and why I found it to be so comfortable, is it's easy to change. It's made like, it's adjust to you so well. So if you're having a day where you're just super sore, just make it really light. Well, something that a lot of people say is helpful, which I did notice in the beginning, was when kind of alternate them. So if you're on a really low vacuum, maybe have it go more times a minute. So it's just doing a lot of really light sucking motions. You can go up on the level and go kind of down on the cycles. Like I said, I'm set at 50, ooh, there's the light, 50 and 10. So you can see there, and there it shows you how much battery life is left. It's all very adjustable, and you can do it too however you would like. You can share this pump with other people, like if you wanted to resell it or something, because it's a closed system. So it has these valves on it, which do come apart, but it means that like this membrane in here holds it so that none of the fluid can get back into the tubing and into the pump. So it's a sealed, closed system. One more thing I wanted to point out. So I have a different type of flange, and that's just this that connects to your bottle. And I got these on Amazon because they connect to my Medela bottles, but the ones that come with it look a lot like this. So this one is a little bit different than your Medela one or your Meta pump. This side, when you're putting it together, the really skinny end goes to your tubing. And then your other end, this yellow part, goes into your flange. So it looks kind of weird. I think it looks like a spaceship. However, it keeps it so that it's this closed system. So you end up every night washing, this comes off, and you can wash this whole part. And this is the bit that it's like a water seal. So anything that goes and touches here, it's not going to pass on. Therefore, like I said, if you want to sell it, you can. So there is a bit of an aftermarket for these, which is nice because on the ones provided by insurance, since most people can get them for insurance, there's none, which is good because you're not really supposed to sell those, since technically your breast milk could get into the tubing, and that's not what you want to sell to someone. So yeah, that's how that goes together. Okay, so that's how you use this little puppy. And again, I know it stinks that you have to pay for it, but honestly, if you think about it, you're gonna be using it 3 or 4 times a day, like 5 days a week for a year. It's a lot of days. So if you can swing it, have people help, like buy it for you as a Christmas present or something, it's really, really worth it, and I love mine. All sorts of attachments that you can buy online, and I'll do a different video on all my pump supplies later. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If this was helpful for you, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And again, I'm Liz. I make videos on being a nurse practitioner, student, a new mom, all of that good stuff. And if you're into it, then subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on my adventure. All right, have a good day, guys, and go buy this pump. It makes you happy.